I've been farming out here since 1985. I grew up out here in the area of Firebaugh, California. But I guess I have to say that I grew up on a farm, so I worked in farm work since I was a child, literally, since I was 9 years old. My father worked on a farm. He worked himself up to become a manager of a farm, but nevertheless, we've been among farm workers all our lives.
We both grew up on the farms. His father was a ranch manager, and my father was a ranch manager. We were like, well, 15 miles away. We were young guys. We grew up in the fields, working on the fields, and we went to school here, local schools here. Here, when I was 16 years old, I used to pick lettuce right here. And I'll never forget having to come here and work here, wintertime. But it was a great experience. You know, it taught me the hard work and appreciation for anyone who does the field work. My father always told me that. You know, there's nothing to be ashamed of being a farm worker.
We all at one time were migrant farm workers. My family were migrant farm workers that came from Imperial Valley to follow the crops. And
my grandfathers were migrant farm workers here in the valley, and they used to go from Los Angeles to Porterville to Firebaugh all the way to San Jose. And then they finally, in the 1940s, they settled here in Firebaugh. My father worked on a large farming. Can't be no worse than Mexico, where there's no work. And at least here in the United States, there's work. What's so bad about having to work in the fields and sweat movement? Tell me. So I started realizing, wait a minute, why can't we go to college and study ag and come out here and work on the farms? You know, be a farm manager or a ranch manager. I started my first farming adventure when I was 21 years old. I took on 10 acres of ground that I planted cotton. I liked the experience. I didn't make a lot of money at it, but I liked the experience. And then I finally had an opportunity to farm in 1986. I was able to lease some land here where I'm located now. This ranch here, for all the right reasons, gave us an opportunity to start farming here. Gilbert's father worked for Sam Hamburg. Gilbert was one of the guys that helped me get into here because he knew the owners, and he's the one that told them, give this guy a break here. Well, the guy that gave a break was me, because Gilbert was my friend, so he had a chance to farm some acres, but he was retired already. But Gilbert's the one that put in good word for all of us, like Joe and myself, and there was about 2 other Hispanic guys that started farming here. So him and I, we used to all of us used to work together, lend us equipment, or help each other if we could,
I was in El Salvador.
Joe was down
in El Salvador in the winter of 1984 when the manager of the farm here, who worked for this guy,
Dave Dermer,
called me, and he says, we have an opportunity to rent some land out here. Would you like that? Would you like to rent it? And I said, wow, I'd love to, but I'm down here. I'll need to see what I can do when I get back. And he says, don't worry. He says, I talked to this cotton ginning company, and they said that you come back, you talk to them, they'll probably finance you. And so he's offering to rent me land, and even though he knows I don't have anything.
We have nothing else, and thank God that there was a lot of friends, farmers, that were established farmers who helped us out. The farmer that was here was Sam Hamburg. He passed away, and his estate gave some of us guys, Hispanic farmers, a chance to lease land and farm here. They gave us an opportunity. We took advantage of it, and eventually they sold the land to us, and we became landowners.
I had just a few $1,000s in the bank, and I just bought a pickup with that, and that was my start. And we were lucky that people would, lend us money and finance us. We had people who lent us their equipment, farmers that lent us equipment.
Farmer friends.
The people who sold fertilizer said, we'll sell you fertilizer, don't worry about it, you can pay us when you get money for it.
What Joe is trying to say is that when we started, nothing was easy. It was a struggle. There was times at night times when we stay up trying to figure out how we're going to pay this guy that we owe money. How are we going to make our payments? And then on top of that, we had the pressure of having to produce. So we had to work day and night if we had to survive. In fact, Dave Dermer, the gentleman that was running this ranch for the Hamburg ranch, he discouraged me. He didn't want me to get into farming. Don't do it. He said, "Oh, Dave, we've got to do it. You know, I've got to try it. I don't have nothing anyway. Don't do it. Don't do it." He told me.
I kind of had a little bit of the same thing.
And,
I got started in 1985, and that year, there were a lot of farmers going broke.
Yeah, 80s, early 80s.
Like every week, there were auctions at different farms. Farmers going broke, going out of business. They were selling their farm equipment. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, the auctions up there.
And I had a friend whom I actually deal with his son now, who holds our almonds. And I ran into him in town, and he says, "Why in the world would you get into farming? I mean, this is the darkest hour for farming." And I said, you know what? First of all, I got a great opportunity, and second of all, the only way to go is up.